Hello my friends, this is Alien Contactee Linol Anderson here with you guys with a brand new YouTube BitChute video. And in today's video, we got a big one for you guys. As you can see by the title, PLEIADIan Prophecy, about the end times. We're talking about the Blue Star Kachina. We're talking about Nibiru, aka the Red Star Kachina. And we're talking about the Ascension event and all that, okay? And this PLEIADIan prophecy, okay, isn't even coming straight from me this time, although we will get to some of my own personal channelings. But we're going to be talking about what the PLEIADIans told the HOPI Tribe. That's right, because we're speaking about the Blue and Red Star Kachina, and that comes from the native HOPI people, who said that they were seated on Earth by the PLEIADIans, and pretty much that these star people, star beings, the gods, spoke to them many years ago and gave them all these prophecies, what's going to happen at the end of this cycle. And this was a long time ago, and all these prophecies are starting to come true, starting to manifest in our realm. Okay? So we're going to be going deep into that. What is the Blue Star Kachina? What is the Red Star Kachina? This video is going to blow your mind, my friends. So make sure you smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video. Alright, and also smash the like button. Helps old Lionel out with the algorithms. And I would say let's just get right into today's discussion. So my friends, to start off the video, I figured I'd give you guys a clip that's going to pretty much give you a basic rundown of what the Blue Star Kachina and the Red Star Kachina prophecy is all about. And then we're going to go much deeper into it, okay? So let's take a look at this clip.
In the high desert of the American Southwest, the Hopi people live in harmony with nature. They are deeply spiritual, believing that their ancestors came from the stars. The elders gather in the village plaza, recounting ancient prophecies of the Kachinas, spiritual beings who act as intermediaries between the gods and humanity. Among these are the most important Kachinas, the Red Kachina and the Blue Kachina, who are destined to appear at the end of an era to bring change to the world. One night, a bright blue star appears in the sky, shining brighter than any other. The Hopi people know that this is the Blue Kachina, signaling the beginning of the Great Purification. The Blue Kachina is a harbinger of truth, awakening the people to the realities they must face. Its appearance in the sky marks the beginning of the cleansing of the earth, as foretold in the ancient prophecies. As the Blue Kachina's light continues to grow, another sign appears in the sky, the Red Kachina. This is the final sign, the harbinger of great change and transformation. The Red Kachina is the bringer of the day of purification, when the old world will be swept away, and a new era of harmony and balance will begin. The Hopi people gather at their sacred sites, preparing for the changes to come. As the Red Kachina descends closer to the earth, the world begins to change. Natural disasters, great storms and upheavals shake the planet, purging the earth of the corruption that has plagued humanity for ages. The Hopi people, guided by their ancient wisdom, retreat to their sacred places, knowing that only those who remain spiritually pure will survive the great purification and help usher in the new era. When the purification is complete, the Red Kachina and Blue Kachina retreat into the heavens. The earth is renewed, cleansed of the old ways. The Hopi people emerge from their sacred places and see the world reborn, a land of peace, harmony, and balance. The prophecy is fulfilled, and a new era begins, where humanity lives in unity with nature and the cosmos. The Hopi elders gather once more, speaking of the prophecy that has come to pass. They remind the younger generations that the lessons of the Red and Blue Kachinas are timeless. To live in harmony with nature, to respect the earth, and to uphold spiritual purity. The Hopi people, having witnessed the prophecy unfold, continue their sacred traditions, ensuring that the wisdom of the ancestors will guide future generations.
Alright, there you have it, my friends. So as you can see, the blue kachina comes first. A lot of people start awakening, the day of purification is among us, it's coming. And then eventually this red star kachina comes in and it destroys everything. That's the day of purification. And there's different timelines that are going to play out for people who are on a positive timeline. The Hopi spoke about the spiritual people and the Great Spirit, and they pretty much reunite with the Great Spirit. And then there's going to be the wicked people, or the people who just didn't make the cut, and they're going to be purified off the face of the earth. And then it's pretty much going to great matrix reset, as I like to call it, and things are just going to start in a new cycle all over again, or as I like to call it, the new simulation. Okay, so what is this blue star kachina, though? Well, what if I were to tell you it's something that you might not think it was? Okay, we're going to look at a couple different possible theories of what it is, okay? But the first theory is that it could quite possibly be our sun. Oh, that's right, because the sun is a star. And we've been noticing some things going on with the sun these days. It used to be so yellow, back in the day. I remember when I was younger, I remember it being more so yellow, and many people do. And now it's like bright white. Why is it changing? What's going on with the sun? Well, I got a video to show you from some bloke who goes by the name of J Dreamers or something like that. And he's talking about the sun in this video and how it's changing the color and what this could all be about, okay? So I want to show you guys that video, so take a look.
Many people remember when the sun was yellow, right? Let's put some emojis, blow up the chat if you remember that the sun used to be yellow, okay? Or have a yellow tint to it, right? Lots of us can remember the sun back when it was like this color, right around this time frame. Maybe if you go further back, maybe even around there, if you're a little older, right? As we have moved, pretend like this is a chart of time. Say the last 100, 200 years, okay? As we have moved forward, the sun itself is getting brighter and hotter and brighter and whiter pretty soon, until we're like, why is the sun white? Ah, but it's actually not white. It's moving into the blue spectrum, right? Why is this important? Well, all of you who love academics will recall that they taught you that the light from the moon in academia is basically the light from the sun. So whatever sun color the sunlight is, the moon will also be that color. It has to, according to that teaching, right? I also believe that they are interrelated, just in a different way. I'll show you and I'll give you an example here in a minute, okay? But basically, the moon itself, many of you might remember the moon being yellow. Why else would it be made out of cheese, right? They're not talking about bright, insanely white cheese or whatever, right? It was made out of cheese because it looked like it was yellow. Or maybe sometimes when it starts to get in this end of the spectrum, it's like blue cheese. It's that kind of rotten cheese that I don't like very much. Anyways, I digress. So this is what the sun looks like. This is what lights look like when they get hotter and hotter and hotter. So you may remember the temperatures are getting hotter and hotter and hotter, right? As time goes on, they're like, oh, it's global warming, this and that. The temperature's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And we see a correlation with the color of the light in our sky, and therefore the light in the rest of the world. Seems to me, and this might just be me, I have to put on sunglasses anytime I step outside for the most part. If it's daytime, like everything is so lit up and so bright, there's white light bouncing off of everything. And it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter every summer. That doesn't mean every year, all throughout the year it's getting hotter and hotter. I'm going to show you why it's getting hotter and hotter and why it's getting colder and colder in some places too. But I want you to have a good concept of what the colors of light look like as they get hotter and hotter. This is degrees in Kelvin, okay? So right around here is like hot enough to melt silver, and it's super hot. Just like in the Bible, how it talks about in the end times, the elements themselves will melt with fervent heat. This is the kind of heat we're going to be talking about coming from the sky, and we're going to talk about what that looks like too.
All right, interesting, right? So the sun is like a light bulb, right? So it used to be yellow, it's getting white, but really what's happening is it's turning into a blue because more pressure from the plasma is building up. And, that's probably why they're all talking about, the weather getting hotter and stuff like that. Well, at the end of the day, it's not from what us humans are doing, if that is what's happening, which I do believe it. That it is getting hotter because back in the day people could stay out in the sun for long periods of time. Now they're out there and it's getting hotter and hotter. They got to go inside quicker. They're burning quicker, right? So it's not from us humans. It's from the sun. That's what they don't want you to know. Okay? So it's getting hotter and hotter, obviously. And that's why it's starting to turn more blue or more white, I should say. And eventually you'll see it's going to be blue, okay? And according to this Jay Dreamers, I think I've heard him say once before that even he believes that the sun is this blue star Kachina, okay? So it's very interesting because you got to think of a light bulb, okay? When a light bulb gets towards its end, okay, and it starts heating up, okay, it goes from yellow, and right before it burns out, it gets white and then blue, and then boom, it explodes, it burns out, okay? The same is happening with the sun, okay? This is what you hear about the great solar flash, okay? Something's going on with the sun. It's acting just like a light bulb, okay? Which many people say it's the projector, which is projecting this simulation, and beyond the portal, which is the sun, because it's also a portal, is the original 5D realm that we come from, and this is the bad copy simulation, right? But as it's heating up, and then boom, the great solar flash. That's the big theory of it, anyways. And with the great solar flash comes the big Ascension event, okay? And it's included with the 3 days of darkness. Okay, so I got a video which I'd like to show you guys where this person is explaining what's going to happen with the great solar flash and the 3 days of darkness and the ascension, how it's all going to take place. Okay, take a look.
There are 12 interdimensional portals located in secret locations that are being very closely guarded by the galactics. These are portals that can instantly transport you from one location into another location in the galaxy. And these 12 stargates are what connects 3D to 5D Earth. So what will happen in the moment of the solar flash, the way we were shown, is that all of these 12 stargates will suddenly activate with the solar flash. The solar flash will be the trigger that jumpstarts Earth's 12 keys. And when these 12 keys all align, there'll be a dimensional corridor between 3D and 5D for those few days. So when there's in 3D 3 days of darkness, those 3 days will be like a corridor for souls who are ready to make the transition. So if you're working on your light body and you're ready to make that transition, you will not have to do anything. Your particles will literally start vibrating at a very high frequency. Your Merkaba light body will jumpstart it itself. And because your Merkaba is activated in that moment, you'll be able to withstand interdimensional travel. And you'll instantly be traveling into a higher resonance reality, which is invisible to 3D.
There you have it. Very interesting stuff, wouldn't you say, my friends? And I'm very open-minded that this could be exactly what's happening, and maybe this is what the Hopi were speaking about. That maybe we'll start seeing the sun getting more blue, which will be the blue star, right? And people will start awakening more, right? Because right now, before even the big great solar flash, we're having a lot of small flashes, like a lot of solar storms, a lot of solar activity. The magnetosphere of the Earth has been weakening, which is making us more susceptible to all these energies coming in. People around the world are having mass awakenings, spiritual awakenings, kundalini activations, and whatnot. And it's very possible that this is all leading up to the big final kabam, right? That has been prophesied in so many end time prophecies and Hopi and everything they're speaking about. Okay? And that the people who did put in the work, who started adjusting to the energies coming in from the smaller solar flares that have been happening. It's been upgrading our DNA. So those who've kept our DNA pure, right? We're not merging with the AI. We are detoxing our bodies day and night and making sure that our vessels are clean and we're pure and spiritual. We will be the ones who are upgrading our DNA, okay? And we will survive this big event and we will ascend maybe back to the 5D realm that they speak of, which is not new Earth, okay? It's not the 5D new Earth like they want you to think. It's the old Earth. It's where we originally came from, or where a lot of Earth seeds, I should say, came from. Many of us might go through the constellations and go back to whatever other realm we came from, right? But the majority will go back to the original 5D realm outside of this simulation. And other people, unfortunately, they are going to be left behind. You know, you hear stories about the rapture, right? Oh, the people who believe in Christ, which again, Christ and all that is all within you. That's all esoteric. It's not about just believing in some guy named Jesus. No, you got to have Christ consciousness and be activated from the sun. Okay, those people will become the 144,000, which means they activate their chakras, which all adds up to 144,000. I spoke to you guys about that before, and they will ascend, okay? They will get out of here, but the rest get left behind for the great battle of Armageddon and all that, and the judgment and all that kind of stuff, okay? And what's going to happen, unfortunately, is when this great solar flash happens, you know, it's going to spew out a bunch of plasma at us, okay? Because the sun is plasma, okay? And we're all plasma beings already. We're in a plasma universe, to be honest. But I believe that Jay Dreamer guys calls this the plasma apocalypse. And what's going to happen is all this plasma is going to activate and make the people who are on the Ascension timeline, that's going to be what ascends us pretty much, right? But the people who did not adjust to all these new energies and who stayed in these low vibrational frequencies, they're going to get filled up with this plasma, and it's pretty much going to magnify what's already inside of them, okay? And the people who are at lower vibrational frequencies and who are filled up with hate and fear and all those things, they're going to be magnified by all that with the plasma times 10, times 100, times 1,000. And a lot of people are going to go insane, which is why the Hopi had this prophecy about the end of cycle days, that many people are going to lose their minds, pretty much, as you could see by this. That's a Hopi proverb, okay, for the end of the cycle. Many people are going to lose their minds. They're not going to be able to take what happens. That's why, because they didn't put in the work. They didn't heal themselves. And when they get loaded up with all this plasma, they won't be able to take it. People are going to go nuts. You're going to see chaos on the earth like you've never seen before. People can start turning into crazed killers for all we know. This could be your zombie apocalypse, you know? That combined with whatever nanotechnologies are within people and that people have been taken with the AI, oh my goodness, it's going to be a shit show. So the earth is going to go crazy, and that's when the red star Kachina comes in to purify. Okay, the world's already going crazy. I should note that. There's been a huge increase in mental health problems and people just losing their marbles all around the world. Why? Well, that's because we've been having more solar activity combined with the sun's magnetosphere weakening. These solar storms are sending people nuts, pretty much, okay? A lot of people are losing the plot, having mental breakdowns, increases in anxiety and stuff. It's all connected to the sun. And this isn't even the great solar flash yet. Okay, so imagine once that happens, oh, the people are going to go right off their rockers. This world's going to turn into chaos, especially as everything starts breaking down. We get near to the end of the cycle. So that's when the red star Kachina eventually comes in. And the red star Kachina is Nibiru. You've heard the legends of Nibiru, Planet X, whatever you want to call it, which is pretty much, I believe it's another world. I believe it's a fourth dimensional world that's being brought in by technology such as CERN, opening up all these portals to other dimensions coming in. It's going to look like a big red planet though, and every time it comes by, it appears red because it's coming with tons of red iron oxide dust. That has been noted. And this red iron oxide, when this object comes in, or this, I believe it's a fourth dimensional object that's coming in, and it's also another realm where negative demonic entities come from, or reptilian entities probably. That's why I call it the reptilian harvest. This event, you're going to be having these crazy alien invasion type scenario happening, but really they're going to be interdimensional reptilian beings. It's called the reptilian harvest. The harvest is spoke about in the Bible as well, okay? It's going to come in, and it's going to cause the pole shifts, all that, and it's part of the great matrix reset and the day of purification that the HOPI spoke of. Okay, so the poor people who cannot elevate and evolve to higher states of consciousness, go within and heal themselves, heal all aspects of themselves, and become enlightened, detoxify their bodies, and truly know that they are spirit and raised to a frequency of unconditional love, because you need to open the heart chakra and you need to be out of the mind, out of the ego mind, okay? And you got to be in the heart and be in a state of unconditional love and activate your chakras and all that. And once all that happens, my friends, and you have that life force energy running through you, and you know your spirit, you're not this physical avatar, okay? This is just a vehicle within this matrix. You are spirit. Once you do all those things, you will go along with these energies that are coming in, and you will ascend. But the poor people who don't do that, they're going to be left behind for the craziness, the madness, and for the end of the cycle. And they're going to be purified and transferred into the new simulation. Many people are being transferred into the new simulation even before this event happens, whether that's hooking themselves up to AI, taking that thing they want you to get, and maybe they're passing on, getting reincarnation, soul trap, and some people are going to willfully sign up to go into cyberspace and stuff, transfer their consciousness so they could never die, which will be stuck in a simulation forever. It's already in the process of happening. Many people are getting transferred, or at least to the waiting room, to be ready for when this new simulation is created. It's the reset, right? And that's going to start all over again, pretty much. All right? So that's what's happening. You got two different paths that you could go down. All right? So, like I said, detoxification is a huge part of the process, my friends. Huge part of the process. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my sponsors down at OWELI, my friends. The liver detox, it's very important to be detoxifying your liver, because our liver is our main detoxifier. So if your liver isn't functioning well, then you're not going to be detoxing well. And a lot of these nanotechnologies that they're loading us full with the graphene oxide and whatnot, well, that exits through the liver as well. So you got to get your liver going good. So this supplement, organic, non-GMO, highly effective, highly potent. It's got great ingredients like milk thistle, beetroot, artichoke extract, dandelion. Oh, there's over 20 ingredients actually in these pills. And they're all designed to flush out the liver. I highly recommend it. And you could also give yourself a nice colon cleanse as well to flush it all out, okay? Which has a lot of ingredients that have actually been shown to help remove parasites as well. But it's just great for gut health all in all, to clean you out, especially flush out whatever you do with the liver. So I highly recommend them. Of course, you're going to want to research it for yourself. Speak to your medical health professionals if you feel the need to, if you have any questions or concerns. Links are down below in the description. And there's also a coupon code for 15% off and free shipping in the United States. So I highly recommend it, and it's a good way to help support this channel. All right, my friends, and help support your own health. Now, we're going to look at one other theory about this blue star Kachina and what it could possibly be. I'm feeling like the sun is a good, safe bet, but there might be something else that is blue, which could be part of the whole process. I don't know if it's the blue star Kachina, but it's definitely part of everything that's going to go on, and I truly believe it. And it is called the Phoenix event, okay? Which that one researcher, Jason Brashears from Archaics, has spoken so much about. So many people know about that. And I know him and that J Dreamers guy have a big feud, but forget about all that, okay, my friends? What I always like to tell people is I think everybody has little bits of truth. I don't do the drama. I don't pick sides. I like what they both have to say, okay? I'm not in no cult and, oh, I'm only going to listen to what he says and he's wrong. No, I listen to everybody. Everybody has bits of truth, and guess what? Everybody is wrong on some things too, okay? So that's my philosophy. I take what resonates and I discard the rest, and I encourage you guys to do that too, even with what I say, okay? But with that being said, Archaics has some interesting stuff about this Phoenix phenomenon, which goes back a long damn time. So apparently, according to him, that this Phoenix is some kind of object that comes into the realm and does smaller resets before this Nibiru object comes in, okay? He claims that it targets specific groups of people who are low vibrational and stuff like that, and causes these mini resets that happen around the world, okay? Not the one that wipes out the entire grid. But I found it very interesting because NASA has been telling us about a certain asteroid called Asteroid Bennu, okay? As you could see, Asteroid Bennu, they say it might hit the Earth in 2182, and I don't know nothing about no dates. That's another thing, I don't do dates. I'm not claiming any day that this is going to happen. I don't think anybody knows a date, even though many claim to know. I think the 2040s, due to my research, looks like a time a lot of these events could start happening, but it could be wrong. It could happen 2030. It could happen anytime, so I'm not making any claims. But with NASA, they're saying 2182. But what's interesting about Bennu, my friends, is that Bennu is an ancient Egyptian god, okay? And it's a bird. It's where the phoenix comes from, okay? So Bennu is the phoenix. So I'm going to show you a little clip that speaks about Bennu. Take a look.
The Bennu bird was associated with rebirth, creation, and the sun. Bennu is an ancient Egyptian deity linked with the sun, creation, and rebirth. He may have been the original inspiration for the phoenix legends that developed in Greek mythology. As an aspect of Atum, the Bennu bird was said to have flown over the waters of Nun before the original creation. According to this tradition, the bird came to rest on a rock from which its cry broke the primeval silence, and this determined what was and what was not to be in the unfolding creation.
All right, there you go. And it's interesting because many times Bennu has been shown to be blue. That's right. Other times gray and stuff, but he has been depicted to be a blue bird. Okay? Very interesting because asteroid Bennu says that it's blue. Oh, there you go. Blue Star Kachina. I don't know. Maybe that's connected or is. Who knows, right? Maybe that's what's going to come and it's the blue star. I don't know, my friends. I think there's good arguments for both the sun and this object. And who knows, maybe it's all connected, which I do believe it is all connected, my friends. And what is very interesting about this asteroid Bennu is they sent this Osiris-Rex thing to it in 2016, which fulfilled another end-time prophecy. So I'm going to show you, I have a little clip that speaks about that. Take a look.
The hearts of humanity will become so wicked that Osiris, the King of Kings, who is known in the ancient Egyptian language as Asar Nesut, or more commonly by the Latin translation Osiris Rex, will unite with a phoenix called Bennu in the heavens to renew the earth and bring forth the final judgment upon humanity. Osirians believe this prophecy was fulfilled on the 8th of September 2016 when NASA launched a space mission called Osiris-Rex to inspect an Earth-impacting asteroid called Bennu. On the 20th of October 2020, the Osiris-Rex spacecraft successfully landed upon asteroid Bennu fulfilling the ancient prophecy of Osiris Rex uniting with Bennu in the heavens to bring the final judgment and renew the earth.
There you go. So what are the chances that this old Egyptian prophecy about Osiris X and the Bennu and all that? And then what do the powers that be do? They send the rocket or whatever that they named Osiris Rex to go land on Bennu to collect samples and whatnot to bring back to Earth and to study it. What are the chances that this lines up with whatever their prophecy is for the end of days or the end of the cycle? You know, it's absolutely wild and bonkers stuff if you ask me. And you know, who knows? I don't think that this Bennu asteroid's going to directly hit Earth, but all it needs to do is fly by and make a close impact and do whatever it's going to do, which could cause these massive changes, right? And I just wanted to point out there's a lot of great esoteric symbolism behind the Phoenix as well. It's not all about physical manifestations of resets. A lot of it has to do with what's going on within you, inside of you as well, okay? There's great deep esoteric spiritual symbolism behind the Phoenix, but esoteric, oftentimes they will translate that into exoteric as well, you know, the powers that be and just the simulation in general. So what goes on within could happen into the external realms as well, as above so below. So I still do think it is accurate to say that the Phoenix is also a symbol of these reset events in our realm as well, the rebirth and all that, okay? It's clear that the powers that be have used the Phoenix as a reset symbol as well. But with that being said, I don't trust NASA at all with their dates and stuff like that, but I think this is just something to put on your radar, and who knows, maybe in the 2040s this could happen, right? Like the Archaics fellow says, I think May something 2040 or something like that. Like I said, I don't do dates personally, but based on everything that I've researched, which I've done a lot of research, it points to a lot of life-changing events happening around those times. But things are changing right now. We're having life-changing events happening right now, and of course Agenda 2030 and all that. So I think we're going to see major things happen all the way up to them, but the Great Matrix Reset 2040, 2045 seems accurate to me, but it could happen anytime, okay, my friends? It could happen at any time. Timelines could change. Who knows? There could be psychological operations that the powers that be are doing, you know. Who friggin' knows? I don't know. So I don't want you guys to ever listen to everything I tell you and be like, oh, it's going to happen this day because Lionel says so. No. We got to be open-minded. And, you know, when I do channelings and stuff, there's one stern rule that is always told me, and that's no time questions, okay? Because time, nothing's set in stone, okay? Things could always change, and so that's one thing to be aware of, you know? But through my own channelings and whatnot, all this stuff seems accurate. I channeled it all, and it all said that everything is all connected here, okay? And that this is pretty much more or less what's going down with the Great Matrix Reset, the Great Solar Flash, the Ascension, the Blue Star, Red Star Kachina, and even the Phoenix. All of it's connected, and this is all the events that are going to take place as we near the end of the cycle. And there's a whole lot more, okay, that I all cover on this channel. So if you enjoyed the information you heard today, hit that subscribe button. As I say, subscribe to survive. I cover it from all these deep in the rabbit hole topics. All right, my friends. So yeah, that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, consider becoming a member of my channel as well. That's right. I have that activated where you could become a member of my channel, and I'm posting exclusive videos you don't get anywhere else on my YouTube channel here. I'm posting Patreon videos and whatnot. So definitely check that out. The link is in the description, or you could just go to my main page and scroll down. You'll see the videos. You click on it, and then it'll give the information to join the YouTube channel, become a member, and then you'll get access to these videos that I'm presenting to you guys, okay? and that helps support the channel, helps support me, so I can continue to bring you guys this content. But of course, smash that like button, it means a lot to me. Smash the subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And that's it for today's video. Until next time, Lionel signing off. Love you guys.